Hello again, and welcome back to the universe where we talk all things you. So, today's episode is about something that really touches us all, and we're going to be talking about endings and beginnings. So, I want to talk endings and beginnings and take it to both sides of the spectrum, right? So, we can talk about endings of a book, we can talk about endings of a relationship, endings of a job, and every ending is bittersweet, right? It comes with loss, it comes with grief, it comes with expecting closure, but it's an opportunity for us to just start on a blank canvas, for us to rewrite a chapter or a different experience in our story. Everything in nature operates in cycles. So the sun sets and the sun rises. We find ourselves currently in winter in the southern hemisphere. It may seem dark and dreary to some, but we all know that it's a process that's going to reach us to our spring, reach us to our summer, right? So everything is cyclical. And it's the same with the endings of things. Everything is cyclical. Things have to end in order for something new to begin. So we're going to explore that a little. I'm positive that every single one of you on the other side listening to this has experienced the ending to something. And I'm positive in the same way that something has ended, you've in hindsight looked back and said, maybe that wasn't such a bad idea. Or maybe I can see the growth from that. So, we're going to talk about why things need to end in order for other things to begin. I cannot begin to tell you how many things have ended in my life in order for new things to begin. Even if it was a job, even if it was a relationship or a friendship, these things all ended in order for me to reach a new level of growth. And perhaps even a new level of understanding of who I am as a person. And as much as it is traumatic and tragic and heartbreaking, I always know deep down inside that it is necessary in order for me to move to another level of growth, be it spiritual, be it mentally, be it emotionally. I need to close chapters in order to move to a next chapter. Same as reading a book. You're not going to get to the end by just getting to the end. You have to read through the chapters, go through the chapters in order to discover what the ending of that story is. As I've done before, I'm going to share stories that I hope that maybe at some point resonates or some level resonates with you. So, in the next 3 days, I'm approaching the 7th year anniversary of my mom's passing. And every year, as the day approaches, knowing or unknowing to me, there's a shift that happens inside of me, right? A shift that happens perhaps, or an awareness that happens emotionally, that sometimes happens physically in my body to bring me to an awareness of like 7 years ago, something traumatic happened to you. And I carry that in some sort of form inside of me still. And so every year I'm thinking to myself, how did I get here? How did I get to this point where I have to revisit what that loss was like, that ending was like, and reflect on a year past, how I've maybe honored her memory or honored the relationship that we had. And so today I am reflecting with all of you. And that's why I also chose this topic about endings and beginnings. Because even as much as that moment was so traumatic for me, because she was my best friend, I can look back at 7 years and see such growth, see such impact of the way she lived and how I honor that through the way I lived. And back then, Perhaps I did not appreciate the way in which she lived as much as I do now. And so I want to share that with you, my little community. And I think back to how that ending defined who I currently am. But when she was here physically with me in this world, I relied so much on her. I relied on her for guidance on how to raise my boy. I relied on her for guidance on how to move through things. Be it I was struggling at work and I could pick up the phone and call her and ask her advice. I wanted to vent about somebody and I could pick up the phone and call her. And I relied on her for a lot of things. And when she physically was removed from my space, I had to rely on myself. She was my mom, but now I had to show up as a mom. She was my best friend, and I had to show up as a best friend. She was a woman I looked up to, and now I have to show up as a woman that I would like others to look up to. And that's pressure. That's a lot of pressure, especially when the person you look up to held such deep value for you, but also for others. And it was so visible in the way she engaged with other people. And so the past 7 years has been me shaping who I am as a woman based off of my experience with my mom. And I always asked myself, why then? Why did that happen then? Why? If I reflect back now, it was only in her leaving the physical world that I was able to fully step into who I am as a woman, who I would like to show up as a person. And so that ending, as much as it was traumatic, gives me a moment every year to be grateful for that relationship, for that experience. Now, the loss of something, or the ending of something, it does have emotional heaviness, and it is okay to feel through that heaviness. It's okay to feel through that emotion, in that emotion, but also in moments to come, whether it's 7 years after. It's okay to feel into that emotion because it allows you to acknowledge it. It allows you to acknowledge your feelings and the role that your feelings play in your everyday, and for you to move through that. I read this quote by Jack Cornfield, and it says, to let go is not to get rid of, to let go is to let be. So we have to let go of things. It's not getting rid of things, it's not getting rid of people. It is letting go to let be, letting go to allow new things, to allow different experiences. Now, the signs of new beginnings are not these grandiose experiences, right? Like, it is small, subtle whispers of you're gonna be okay. I remember going through my divorce, and it was a really challenging time for me because I didn't understand what was happening, why this was happening. This wasn't the plan I had for my life. And I remember one day walking through the mall, I decided, I was like really, really down. And I decided I'm just going to go to the mall. I'm just going to walk around in the shops and I'm just going to feel into whatever I'm feeling into. And I remember walking in the mall, and as I was walking in the shop, I was just like, is this what I'm doing? Am I on the right path? Like, God, universe, can you just give me a sign? And I remember walking down this one aisle, and as I looked up, there was this literal massive sign saying, if you're looking for a sign, this is it. And so I laugh about it now, but in that moment it was so profound because it was literally like these the start of new beginnings don't have to be these huge um, signs in the sky. It can be these little ones that just show you like you're moving on the right track. You're gonna be okay. Now, recently, I'm going through the ending of a friendship. And every morning when I'm waking up, I'm still reflecting on this friendship. Like, what happened? What did I do wrong? Where did we go amiss? And so I've cultivated some practical steps to get me through this. And the first step is to reflect on the past. So I literally have to sit and reflect on what that chapter has taught me, what that friendship has taught me. What do I take away from it? Um, and acknowledge and just appreciate and show gratitude for. And then I try and focus on what's ahead of me. What are the new things that perhaps I've learned in that chapter that I can take into new experiences or new friendships that I'm going to start creating. And then I've had to practice patience. Patience with myself, go through this. Ultimately, I am finding gratitude. I'm finding gratitude that I get to love many people in this lifetime, that I get to express myself and who I am through various relationships. And even though some relationships are seasonal and things are going to, at some point, in change, I am showing gratitude for being able to experience that. In every ending and beginning, there's one thing that you can know that remains constant, and that is you. You are at the center of every beginning and every ending. You are the constant. You are the one that is experiencing all of those things. Every ending and every beginning is an opportunity for you to express your authentic self, for you to show up as the person that you want to be. Now, endings and beginnings, they are not isolated from each other. They are interconnected. They are like the inhale and the exhale of life. When you do one, you allow the other to flow naturally. So, I want you this week to think about endings. Think about things that have ended. Think perhaps you're going through something that's ending now. Practice those steps. Allow yourself to take what you find to be the most gratitude from that experience, and then what would you perhaps do differently in an experience similar to that in the future. What new beginning is waiting for you to claim it? And so I want to thank you for joining me again on an episode of the universe. I hope that the week ahead will bring you many new beginnings, that you will find subtle or grandiose signs of new beginnings, that you will find whispers of you are going to be okay. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend. I look forward to the next time. Remember to stay happy, to stay bright, to be true to you.